One of the most difficult packing decisions is which camera to take. I want DSLR quality and interchangeable lenses, but even when I bring it, it often ends up staying in the hotel room because it's just so heavy to lug around. Canon has a solution, the SL1, the small light one. With its kit lens, it weighs less than my 50D body. I'm on my way to Cancun, so let's see. There's no compromise on the sensor. The 18 megapixel sensor is the same APS-C size used in the rest of Canon's consumer DSLRs. It is small. I wouldn't mind if the hand grip was a little larger, but my fingers are falling in all the right places. With the viewfinder to my eye, it's very comfortable. And I can now tell how really lightweight this camera is. The viewfinder is the primary composition tool, which may be new or different if you've been using a point and shoot. To use the LCD instead, slide the power switch to movie or press the live view button beside the LCD. Incidentally, video record only works in movie mode, but you can take stills in both. There are a large selection of shooting modes available on the mode dial, which groups modes into two sets. The fully automated modes are called Basic. Manual modes are called Creative. There are two generic auto modes, one that suppresses the flash. There are dedicated dial positions for portraits, landscapes, macro, and sports. They preset a whole bunch of settings. For example, Sports mode sets continuous autofocus, a fast shutter speed, and burst mode. Landscape sets a smaller aperture and increases color saturation. In Basic, there's the most complicated mode of all, Creative Auto setting, which includes an extra shot capability. With this feature enabled, 2 images are saved, one with and without the effect. Nice! Creative Auto includes convoluted access to 3 groups of settings: ambience, creative filters, and picture styles. Finally, there's Scene mode: kids, food, candlelight, night portrait, handheld night scene, and HDR backlight. The last 2 take multiple exposures with a single snap, combining them into a single image. Handheld night takes 4 to increase light and reduce handheld blur. HDR takes 3 to get more detail in light and dark areas of the image. The creative modes are the standard PASM, program, manual, aperture, and shutter priority. I don't think much of a camera that doesn't offer manual controls, but I honestly didn't find much reason to use them on this one. Shooting primarily with full auto or the dial scene modes provided fast access for nearly all occasions. When that didn't provide great results, the other scene modes delivered. And that's exactly what you want from a travel camera. I was surprised by how little effort it took to take really decent pictures. In fact, I'd say it's pretty difficult to have a photo fail. 2 things really impressed me: the on-camera flash, which provided a balanced, even, and natural light, and the slow shutter speeds, as slow as 1/20th, which didn't result in blurry images even when handheld. These family birthday pictures turned out much better than I expected. In general, photographs of night scenes look much lighter than they appear in real life, providing much better detail. Auto ISO works in manual, and while high ISO images are grainy, they're not bad. There's no panorama feature, a miss for a travel camera. There's a selection of filters that you can add to an image, either before or after you snap the shutter. To use the filters, switch to live mode, which means no viewfinder. So I'll leave it to you to judge whether these are useful or gimmicky, or whether you'd prefer to make these kinds of creative images and adjustments in post-processing. This is a touchscreen. You can use it to set the focus point and to easily adjust settings. With many cameras, you can turn the touchscreen on or off. Here, touch functionality is fundamental to the operation of the camera. You can even use the touchscreen to focus and snap with a single tap. While learning the features, I frequently thought, how do I? And the answer was nearly always, touch the screen. There is rather more video functionality than I anticipated. There's an audio in jack, the ability to connect an external monitor. The headphone jack is about the only thing that's missing. Oh, note that when you're shooting video, you use the LCD. It's a shortcoming of any DSLR with an optical viewfinder.
You can shoot video in full manual mode with control over all settings including audio level. Frame rates in video can't go below 1/30th, but go up to 1/4000th. ISO or gain ranges from auto to 6400. Video files are in .mov format. Frame rates for Full HD include the cinematic 24p as well as 30p. 60p is supported only at the lower 1280 by 720 resolution. At 48 megabits, the SL1 has the highest data rates of any camera I've evaluated. There's a miniature movie mode, which can record for playback at 5, 10, and 20 times regular speed. There's a neat video snapshot feature, which takes 2, 4, or 8-second clips and assembles them into a movie, like a slideshow, but with moving images. The SL1 has neither Wi-Fi nor GPS, both of which are useful in a camera designed for travel. Canon does sell an optional GPS receiver that fits on the hot shoe. The advantage of a Canon camera over some of the small light competition is the enormous range of accessories, lenses, flashes, but note there's no external battery grip for this model. I don't enjoy coming back to the cold, but I would enjoy taking the SL1 on my next vacation.